Welcome back. We continue with our discussion. Please, it's a pleasure to declare that tonight we must resolve our problems which we face as a country. And we look at the realities of Uganda's agricultural production and industrial growth. It seems to be, or looks to be, a comprehensive topic, but it is specific to these basics. One said, you want to resolve unemployment, you want to create jobs. He talks about one of the model. He talks about agriculture. And again he says, education. And now unemployment will be history. But finally say, work. Now here we are, coming back to where we were, Dr. Julian Adiel-Mar, the presidential advisor on agriculture, would like to look at the realization of industrial growth that has been a dream of the NRM government. It seems not to have captured the attention and met the expectation of citizens. Yet, the ideas that are being presented through both manifesto and policy documents looks to be very wonderful. One of which I recall, agricultural zoning. I remember that one, where we have 21 sub-regions in Uganda, and to realize each sub-region, what it can produce best, and to take it from a level of subsistence to macro production that can lead to value chain, and finally that mass production that could lead now to add value on the very product for export. If it is to realize that this produces sugarcane, we do so, and we know this sub-region, we will support them with industries, we support them with the mechanization of agriculture in their area, and then they will do this for us. We count like 21, we are 24 sub-regions, for instance, and each sub-region, if they are having 2 commodities, that means we could now have 44 commodities which are in world market, not only here Kampala and Kasero. We have not realized this. How can we make this a reality and we also enjoy exporting and get dollar than only importing and we buy dollar?
The reality of life, how we talk about it. One, we should stop being lazy. Why I'm saying that, we have left farming to the informal sector, the poor. They're the people who feed us. They're the one who plant the matoke, plant everything, and we buy. For us who have money, people who are well educated, Ugandans, we are the most well-educated country, well-researched, we have it all. If you go to Naro, people are highly educated and they have all the theory. If you go to Maiv, we have it all. What we lack is practical, being practical. People who have money, who have the capacity to represent Uganda and come out and say, yes, we need this. You will find that people who have the voice, you find majority are foreigners. I will take it to Karangara. When Karangara was supported and we eating our own oil, if now we could say zoning, there are 24 zones, and we say there must be 3 industries like the way you look at Karangara in every zone to concentrate in what the soil produces most, like in Western Uganda where tea grows. If you concentrate and you go where mango grows in the north, it grows. If you go in the central where coffee grows, and you concentrate and you invest money in those value chain, and you create market. Because when there is market, Ugandans will want market.
Why is the government not realizing this? And it is just a fact. It is just factual, but yet to realize it, why does it continue to remain a dream than reality?
To me, I strongly believe Ugandans, the people who are on top planning, they have good ideas, they have good plan, but we have remained on handout and people don't want to do. We know, we have it all. I cannot tell you that Uganda we don't know. We know. If you look for information, you will get it. But getting it together and concentrate on production and the right production. That's why we had to start Farm Institute for hands-on training, skilling in the garden, to know what you are going to produce. Then do it in the right way and have baruke. If you have in volume, then you can export, then you can support an industry. People used to tell me, Adil, why can't you start a factory? Yes, I did the juice in Kawempe importing concentrates. But when I decided that I want to make fresh juice from fresh fruits, locally grown fruits by the local people, that's why I had to go to Noya. To lead by example, I have established a model whereby that I have now the fruits. Now I'm looking for money for the factory. And I want to assure you, I must get...
But they should give you the money since you have
I
work.
have waited for... This is the 4th year.
Oh my God.
And I'm tired of waiting. And the last 3 years, the money for our factory has been going in ads. 3 years. And money taken back to the treasury.
Oh my God.
So, and the president made a directive. But at the end of the day, to me, I think I was being fooled. Because me, I've never been, I'm not used to handout. I've never been spoon-fed.
I understand.
I believe in myself. I'm workaholic. So I'm coming out to say, whether the money comes or not, the factory, I must set it. So Ugandans, we need to wake up and lead by example and ensure that we put a hand to our people, poor people in the community to grow, to produce, and we put factories. Me, I believe Ugandans, we can. Whether government is there for us or whether development partners are there for us, we are supposed to produce. Uganda, we have brilliant entrepreneurs. And another thing which disturbs Uganda is one, we are not together. You see people going into China, buying one item, instead of 200 people going into China, let the 5 people go and bring for us. We lack that. But to me, I sincerely believe we must wake up as Ugandans, work together, and also as you look at these hands, if you have done agriculture, you come and practice. I'm having now 40 youths.
Are you encouraging cooperatives as a solution in the process?
Yes. The cooperative society,
yes.
And we are doing well. We have produced fruits. In the last season, Kenyans were buying mangoes from our farms, and we have sold mangoes, and we are moving forward. Me, I believe in unity, I believe in working together, and I believe in sharing ideas.
Doctor, when you talk about mangoes, I've become happy, and especially I'm concerned to know the quantity. You say either these tons. You see, that's the language we could want. I don't know when we shall reach that. We say we have these how many tons, we sold these how many, maybe we sold out these how many these rolls, these tons, and because that's production that we are lacking.
I want to tell you, and National Planning Authority and the 2 ministers and the team, about 80 people visited us at the harvest of mangoes in Noya district. They found out that we had about 4 vehicles of mangoes. They were there in the farm. Kenyans were buying mangoes from us, and I want to tell you, we sold mangoes. Every day we would harvest 2 lorries full, 12 tons, and we managed to feed Kampala, and the mangoes were more than enough, and we have the capacity in Noya district to feed the region and export the mangoes. I want to tell you, it's very exciting when you find that our mangoes in one tree. I harvested 7 crates. 7 crates from one tree.
Thank you. We will encourage you, Mama, that you raise up many other entrepreneurs who at your same level and even above your level, so that we can pull this 22 million around the 64 to 70 youth who are unemployed according to UBO's statistical information that is dealing with the youth unemployment, so that they can be in production. Because agriculture, as you are elaborating about the entrepreneurship in relation to that, agricultural enterprise, it consumes or it provides opportunity, job opportunity to a larger population. So it will be our encouragement that something should be done, but I add on voice, let there be those who are model farmers that they be identified, be supported. I'd like to welcome you, Madam Josephine Akia Rimbazi. You have much more information to convince and to educate, to inform Ugandans that we can make it and resolve unemployment, counting on a number of programs that both the government and NGOs have tried to come on with, but yet we are still suffering with unemployment. Look, and finally, that's why the returns in terms to pay revenue and also to consume the various products, it becomes low. That's what I refer as low economic productivity, because the consumption rate is low and the production, the market is also low. It's a pleasure to have you again. Within 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. As long as we continue having the majority of us being employed in the informal sector, then automatically you're reducing on your tax base. Because these are people that are operating in saloons, these are people that are trading on the streets and selling and walking items. These are the farmers who are directly selling to middlemen, and for that reason, because we are not properly organized, the government can't even go ahead and tax an entity, despite all the rigorous approaches that are being taken to collect as much revenue from us. So it goes back to how are we supporting the agricultural sector to be more organized in groups, like how the cooperatives that Doctor is talking about are there. We started well when we had all these cooperatives, Bugisu Cooperative, and every district, every region had a cooperative because of the fact that there was zoning into a particular commodity. What happened to that? Isn't it time for us to go back to that? So that by so doing, we are having all farmers bringing in their produce collectively, bulking, adding value to it, even going ahead to store and selling at an opportune time. But right now we are having bananas ferrying the route all the way from Isinjiro, coming to Kampala, and these are fresh products. Have we thought about adding value? I know there's the presidential banana initiative. Is it doing that much? How much of organic matter is being transported? We bring these pills to here. Have we thought of having a factory based there, for instance, so that all this banana is peeled there and processed and milled, so that you're even creating more employment opportunities for the people in that region, as opposed to bringing everything here? I appreciate the government for the batwa that was erected, I think in Nakasongola also, by the Egyptians, but how much is it doing in terms of production capacity? They are still grappling and saying they are closing shop because we are not able to supply them with the cows that they need. And we are still seeing trucks coming with all the cows, frustrating them, having, meat that is already so frustrated, for lack of a better word. Because the animal has been stressed. You see how they hang them on the road, the tails are up, and you know how they are all congested. Despite us having rules and regulations on animal transportation, are we respecting the animal rights, for instance? So it goes back to how organized, what structures is government putting in place to ensure that these businesses thrive in their local vicinities. How much are we adding value to our produce, for instance? How many markets are we establishing in those places? I'll give an example of Pelham. We have gone ahead to establish agroecological markets. Thanks to Ugandans, we've now gotten up to be more conscious about the food that we eat. We want to eat healthy food. Nobody will tell you, I want food that has been sprayed by chemicals. Because we are also conscious of the health implications. We know cancers are coming up, obesity is there, and so people are increasingly demanding for healthy foods. How is government coming in to support the establishment of these markets? We have individuals who have gone ahead to establish these markets, but still frustrated by the conventional markets, for instance, because they are fighting for the same space, despite us having a niche market as organic producers, as agroecological producers. In terms of adding value, do we have a place where people can go and add value? Uganda, we are very well known for exporting all the raw materials. Everything is fresh. You sell the maize to Kenya and then you come back and buy posho. That is what is happening. We sell our coffee, export it, and then we come back and buy Nescafe. What are we doing? We have policies, government officials, our policy makers. Where are we missing the link? So as long as we are still continuing to ensure that the policies are not favorable, the infrastructure is not there, the incentives are not there, then we are still going to continue staying where we are. In the middle income, or even going lower. Because with what is still happening and the economy as is, we are still going lower unless we wake up, unless we have more investments and having more public-private incentives and partnerships being created. Policies are more friendly, that they can support the growth of the agricultural sector. We have extension services addressed, and extension workers are equally and distributed to the ratio of the farmers. It will be very good.
So we are also would like to look at the existing initiatives, government initiatives, especially the programs. And the programs, of course, it's a long story. The line is endless. I'm able to recall because all those programs, they were being introduced while I was here, and it ranges from Entandikwa. And for us, I recorded it as PFA, Plan for
Prosperity for
No, not yet. Poverty Alleviation Fund. That's the one which was called Entandikwa. Oh yes. And then PMA, Plan for Modernization of Agriculture. You can just hear such kind of word. Everyone can want to associate with that.
Yes.
Plan for Modernization of Agriculture. Are we having modernized agriculture? At what percentage? And it continues to go to National Agriculture Advisory Services. Very wonderful program also, as per the name tag. You continue to just look at prosperity for all. I got a training of economic transformation in Chankwanzi. I came back from there 2007. I was in a job by that time. I was still more younger than this. And I said, no, this thing is possible. What Mzee is saying, you know, Judge Jawawana, the president, His Excellency. And I would say, by the way, 20 million on 1 acre of land. And I came back, I was indoctrinized, and I said, you people, it's possible. I began to teach the population, did my work. After that, then we go to Operation Creation Wealth. Is that?
Operation Wealth.
Operation Wealth, there are many names. And then finally, Youth Livelihood Program. Then all of a sudden, parish development model. Unemployment has not gone. Low economic productivity, Emioga, low economic productivity is still with us. Maybe still hopeful that will improve. I'm giving you more 3 minutes. Please, are we having hope to realize this and bridge this gap?
I want to quote Napoleon, who said, we forget nothing and we learn nothing. These are very beautiful, catchy words, created well and drafted well in these documentations when you read them. But increasingly, even one fails, we go to another. We just change the name and go on to the next. And for that reason, we are still grappling with the same issues. How I wish government could have a comprehensive analysis of all these different programs. What happened? Why did we fail before we go into the next one? And it goes back to what Doctor was saying. As long as we are still continuing with the tendency of handouts, then we are not going to work. Because what is the notion of the people that are being given this? It's our money. We are entitled to it. And for that reason, it is okay. That's why people start and then disappear with the money. Apart from the few that are there that are still working and able to see this as something very objective and even go ahead and pick the little money that is there and pay the interest and then continue to thrive. But that is just a minute group of the population. So as long as you're giving people money and there is no clear strategy in terms of the implementation, there is no clear prioritization of what the people want, because it was the same thing for NADS, I think, that failed NADS. People being given
But we needed to critically review of where we are going will solve unemployment, including price development model and other programs. You are at liberty to give us your input and possibly a bit of change. The good thing, you can advise via here and also advise at State House, but you advise us.
I'm going to tell you one story. Once upon a time, there was a prophet. was moving around. He visited a poor country. In a poor family he was hosted. And when he was hosted, there was one cow, manifest cow, a husband, a wife, and 3 children. Very poor family. They slept there, and they said the calitro. He said, you know, we get 1/2 cup of milk. We sell, we get a quarter, and we sell a quarter. That money we buy food. So they slept there. They were being taken care. You know how poor people can take care. Then the prophet went. When he reached somewhere, he was touched of the level of poverty. He sent the person who was moving with the prophet to go back and throw away that cow and it dies. Man said, Master, they hosted us. This is a poor family. They only survive on that 1 cow. Why? He said, don't you believe me? Go and do it. The man went, threw away the cow, died. The next day, what happened? The cow was dead. They cried. Now, what happened? Because the cow was dead, no hope. Where they used to winnow their sorghum, because the cow used to eat the sorghum and the crops, and you know where the cow used to defecate, vegetables grow up, they have no option, they survived on vegetables, the sorghum come, they have to dig in the chilaro there, they had to plant food. In the harvest, they have enough food. After 1 year, they had now resolved into farming. After 4 years, the master sent back the slave to go back and see. They found they were rich people, they are farmers, they had come out of poverty. So Ugandans, what do we learn from that? We must stop expecting things for free. And the government, I want to say, the more you will insist on those handouts without doing your job to put the industries and creating a market and demand and helping Ugandans to work for themselves and create their own job, we shall remain the way we are. I went to know I have gone through thick and thin, but I'm a proud farmer who sleeps on 1,700 acres of land. I don't buy anything. For us, we create the dollars, so we have everything we eat in the farm, and we all go to the garden. On Saturday, you find 120 people, we go to dig, we have our own food. So we must learn how to sustain ourselves. This is of giving out money, free handout, and people sit to wait that milk is got from the fridge, not from the cow, or everything you pick from the fridge. No, we must change of the way of doing things. We must learn to work, to eat our sweat as God told us.
Oh, please stay tuned. As you've heard by, I believe all of us, all of you outside there and us here, our ears are widely open to hear the strong advice. Stop handout, whosoever is doing it. Politicians outside there being advised, we are with an advisor here. Please stop it, and we can now change our ways. And if we want to change our society, change our ways, even it is biblical. If you want to change the nation or the society, you must change the way you do things. And you cannot do things the same way you do it for more than 5 years and expect different results. We believe if we change, we'll have a better economic growing country and also employment, and employment will come to the end. We will be coming back and dealing with some of the proposals that will pin down some of these challenges, at least to give us the green light so that it cannot remain the red light. Please see you in the next session. Yeah, it's a good one.
You have been had for